Libras, how are you? I can't believe I'm doing this reading for February already and how fast January went by. It's incredible. But yeah, we find ourselves for another reading for another month. So I'm going to start with you in February, and a few things to mention before I start the reading is that we're going to have a new moon on February 4th. We're going to have a new moon in Aquarius, and on February 19th we're going to have a full moon in Virgo. Now around the new moon in Aquarius, thing to pay attention to is our relationship to change, our community, our sense of community, how we cherish and how we appreciate our relationships, how we act around friends. Also, the other thing to mention too, it's around this time there's going to be a big push towards thinking outside of the box or thinking for solutions outside of the box, and that's because of the Aquarius being the zodiac sign that is really pushing for change and kind of being the rebellious zodiac of the most rebellious sign of the zodiac. It really encourages us to think outside the box and really go against the flow of what's normal and what's accepted and kind of push the boundaries as far as we can, but in a good way. So think about that. Also, like, it's a good time to volunteer. If you think about volunteering, go do that around this time. And about health, think about, it's a good time to really think about your calves, your ankles, your shins, and your heels tendons, because around this time there might be some chance of injuring those areas. And now with the full moon in Virgo happening on February 19th, the health areas to focus on is really your digestive system and your small intestine, because there's going to be a lot of push for detoxifying your life. I think it's going to be a good time to start a new diet or to start just kind of like a cleanse, if that makes sense to you. And also it's a good time to focus on organizing, tidying up things in your life, and be it relationships, be it projects, be it whatever else. Just maybe just do a cleaning around the house, you know, and just purge whatever is just no longer needed. And with that, I feel like around this time for some of you, especially that people that have like a lot of Virgo placements, there's going to be a breakthrough in ways that you find efficiency in the way you work. So be looking out for that too. But let's start the reading. So I'm going to pull a couple of cards. I'm going to do one row for the past, one row for present, and one row for future. And I'll pull some clarifiers and an oracle card at the end. Okay, so let's see what comes up for you. So for the past, we have the Temperance, the Devil in reversed, the Two of Wands in reversed, Six of Swords in the present, Five of Wands, the Hermit in reversed, Six of Wands, that's great, King of Pentacles in reversed, and the Three of Cups. A beautiful way to finish the month. And then we have crowning is the Magician, which is really beautiful. It's going to be a month for you to manifest things, and then really to find ways to put more effort into things that you want it to work, or projects that you're working on. This is going to be a good time to really bring them to life. So let's start. So we have, to start with, we have the Temperance, the Devil in reversed, and the Two of Wands in reversed. I think like coming from January, where we have the lunar eclipse in Leo, and a lot of energies happening that's bringing up a lot of emotions, a lot of baggage, a lot of things that you have to deal with from the past. I think you're coming into February with almost like kind of letting go of things that you kind of, in a way, you're kind of almost excited about, or maybe looking forward to, but at the same time letting go of like toxic relationships, toxic things in your life, toxic boundaries too, almost. Now, with Two of Wands in reversed, I feel like it also has to do with you maybe kind of giving up on plans that you realize that are no longer working for you, which is a great thing. But you feel good about this. The Temperance tells me that this is you feel optimistic and you feel positive about the future. And you made those choices with a level head, and you also coming from like a very balanced perspective when you make those choices. Now, going into the month of February, it's going to be quite I think it's an emotional period for you, where it's like, so you're leaving behind and then you're moving on to something better, which is represented by the Six of Swords. And it could also do, maybe some of you are letting go of relationships, specifically toxic relationships specified by the Devil over here. And you're kind of moving on to other relationships. Now, to be mindful and careful of, there's going to be some like ego battle, or if you're looking for a job, there's going to be competition in the field or competition in whoever is applying. So there might be a lot of applicants qualified for the position. So you kind of want to separate yourself on your resume with something really specific about yourself, or maybe something that you're really, really good at, or maybe something too that you like find pleasure in. Because like with the Hermit in reverse, it's like it's almost your time of hibernation is coming to a close, and what you're focusing on is just kind of like letting that shine. Like you're had an introspection month or a period of time, and now it's almost time to share the wisdom that you gain from it. So if you're looking for a job, I think it's going to be a really good time and really good for you to put on your resume things that you've learned from your past, and something that's very specific to you that only you're really good at. Could be also something that you're really very specific hobby to you, like maybe you like bocce, maybe you just like a really good tennis player, or maybe you just like to crochet and you like in a crochet tournament. Whatever the case might be, it's just a really good time for you to mention those things and really bring to light. But also, for you that are in relationships, be careful of ego around this month, because there's going to be a lot of it going on. It's going to be a lot of like, especially with the new moon in Aquarius, where it's all about me, me, me. It's about me against the world type of energy, and it's how can I like break down all of these rules. I feel like you're going to be encountering a lot of that pushback from your partner, from your work environment, from your friendships. So, and if you're working on a project, or if you're waiting for like something to come through or paperwork to be signed, yeah, be careful about that and just kind of be a little patient. Now, moving into the third row, I think whatever you're planning is going to be successful. With the Six of Wands, you can't get a better card. It shows confidence, it shows success, it shows accomplishments. So whatever you're going through around beginning to mid-February, it's going to be, know that it's going to end up in success, and it's going to end up in your favor. Now, with the King of Pentacles, I feel like they also might be, for some of you, the fact that you were successful, the fact that you were able to achieve whatever you set for yourself, it kind of might get to you. So you might be kind of like, and it's not too much that you're in your head, but it's more about you being kind of like egotistical, well, not even a narcissist, but too much of a gloat. I don't know if that makes sense to you, or like, and you might lose like touch with reality a little bit, which also I have to mention, and then we're going to have Mercury in Pisces happening on February 10th, and that's a time where to be really careful about not to kind of slip into like dreamland. So I think this is going to be important for you, especially that with the King of Pentacles. Another message that comes through with the King of Pentacles, it's usually sometimes that's something that's moving really fast. So now if you are looking for a job, know it's going to happen really, really fast. So once you put that resume out, once you really look through it, especially with the full moon, around the full moon, like mid-February, be careful about details. So really foolproof, read-proof your resume and read-proof whatever documents. And once you do that, once you put it out there, you know that you're going to have a result pretty fast. And not only that, but it's going to be in a really good environment. I don't know why I'm getting a lot of like a work reading for you this month. not as much as a relationship. There is a focus on relationship with the Devil in reversed, and with the Five of Wands too. But I think a lot of you, I think it has to do with career more this month than anything. But if we talk about relationships, I think whatever you're going through, be you're single or being you're in a relationship, know there's going to be a little tension around the middle, beginning of the month, especially I think around the first week of February. But know that that's going to pass as long as you have a balanced approach to it, as long as you're very level-headed and don't lose your cool. And also know that you, like, if you're struggling, if you have a moment of oh, I don't know what to do, you know, like I feel lonely or I feel abandoned or whatever the case may be, know that you have a sense of community. Know that you have friends around you that are there to support you, and you can reach out to them. And especially that's reinforced with the new moon in Aquarius, where Aquarius, it's all about friendships. It's all about sense of community, and it's encourages for you to reach out to your friends and to your community and give back to your community. But let's pull some clarifiers and let's see what else we got for you, Libras. But overall, I feel really, really good about this reading. I feel like, and especially with the Magician in reverse. Oh, look at this. And we have the 8, and then we have the Fool and the Lovers. Oh my God, I can't, it's like, oh my God, Libras, you're going to have a really, really busy month. You're going to have a really happy month too. A lot of things are going to be done this month. Especially, I want to say like mid-February, especially around the time where we have the full moon in Virgo, where it's like asking us to structure our life, or bring some sort of a organization or structure to everything in our life. For some reason, I think of like Mary Kondo, her Tidying Up documentary. Whoever hasn't watched it, please watch. I think it's going to be beneficial for you to watch that month, and it's on Netflix too. So if you have Netflix, but let's pull some clarifiers. Okay, so Temperance, the Devil. Okay. Okay. Wow, King of Pentacles in reverse twice. Okay. Wow. Okay, there might be a relationship reading after all. Okay. So let's see. So we have the 8 of Pentacles clarifying the Temperance. Now the 8 of Pentacles, it's usually like when somebody is working on their craft, but at this time it's like it's almost like somebody that finished their job and they're already admiring their work. And with the Temperance, I feel like you're gonna see the benefits of you being patient and you being you know, putting like a lot of effort and like really understanding and practicing tolerance towards others, being like in a work environment, being in your personal relationships. Now we have the Ace of Cups clarifying the Devil in reversed. And I think here it's like getting out of toxic relationship for you, Libras. It's really the lunar eclipse that happened in Leo on January 21st was really big for you. I feel like some of you really let go of toxic behavior, or like you really had a lot of communication around what's working for you, what's not working for you, and then you actually, you know, you almost cut through all of that and you're like really clear about, okay, where my boundaries stand, what I'm going to stand for, what I'm not going to stand for, what I can tolerate, what I can't tolerate, and you let go of that toxic behavior, and you approaching relationships from a perspective of like, you know, I'm going to do what's best for me. And then once you do that, you'll see like a different shift, like it's almost 180 in the relationship. And for some of you, that might mean that you're gonna either somebody is gonna commit, and because usually the 9 of Pentacles in is going from like being single to being in a committed relationship. So some of you, maybe that communication that you had during the end of January, beginning of February might have been beneficial. Of like, okay, if we're like been in a relationship for like 6 years or 5 years or whatever the case might be, and you're like, well, what do we do now? And then if you're like, well, the next thing is to get married. So if you make your ideas and your wants, your needs known, then you know that there might be a chance to commit, especially with like the Six of Swords. So it's like we're leaving something behind. So I feel like we're leaving like this this mindset of being single, this mindset of being lonely, or this mindset of like things are not working out for us too. So now if we're talking about work, it could also mean that you're leaving like the feeling of like, oh, I can't find a job anymore, there's nothing there for me, but you know that you will find it. And then we have the Six of Swords clarifying the Five of Wands. I feel like here it talks about more like, instead of fighting against others, instead of like proving like, oh, who's better and whose ego is bigger and who's has the last word, just kind of like be more, think about the community, think about the group, and be helpful, and see like how the person is holding those three swords and helping the other two to kind of get off the ship, the boat, and onto the land. I think it's more about like kind of put your ego aside and really work with the group. Or if it has to be a relationship, let go of your ego and really work towards the relationship and to the greater good of the relationship. Then we have the King of Pentacles clarifying the Hermit. I think with this it has to do with once you did that inner work, I think you're ready. I think you're ready to step out of your shell. You're ready to like show the world what you're made of. And with the King of Pentacles, it's going to happen first, because like once you have that epiphany, nothing is holding you back. And especially and that's going to be, I think that might happen around the first week of February, because the new moon in Aquarius, where it's like we encourage to start new things. We encourage to like maybe start a new class, or maybe like learn something new. I think with the Hermit, that it's all about learning, and it's inner learning. It's learning about ourselves. You're going to be like, oh, I'm really good at this. So then you might be encouraged to start like a new project or a new venture, a new business even. And it's going to happen really fast, and everything is going to be working in your favor. And especially like with the next pair, we have the Ace of Swords clarifying the Six of Wands. You just going to be like right on point. Everything is going to work for you. You're going to be clear on what you need to do. What are the steps that need to be, you're not going to be blind anymore. You're not going to be, oh, but I don't know if it's going to work. No, you're going to find that determination. You're going to know exactly what needs to get done. Be that in relationship or be that in work. Then we have the Three of Swords clarifying the King of Pentacles. I think it's for you, especially for people that have been going through a separation or breakup. Know that you are on the mend, and know that that period of hurt is not gonna last long, because you're kind of done of worrying about, you know, things that no longer were working out, and like dwelling in the past and dwelling on the negatives of the relationship. But it's really about now the shift is going to be on to how do you mend yourself, how do you heal yourself, and how do you find that stability, how do you find that foundation that you had, but now it's like it's almost lost. Because heartbreaks are hard, but you know, with this card, it's you're on the mend, and you're on the mend, and you might even meet somebody new pretty quickly that might help you heal, or might help you in the process. And it might not be romantic, it just could be maybe like a specialist that you might be able to see, like a therapist, or maybe just conversations with friends, you know, that like your sense of community that might help you through it for that period of time. Now we have the Four of Wands in reverse clarifying the Three of Cups. Four of Wands, to me, it's usually about family, it's about commitment, it's about marriages a lot of times. It's also about like milestones. Now, I think with the Three of Cups, I feel it's like there is work that is not finished, but you have a support system that's going to help you deal with that. Another message is coming through, and it's for you that are in relationships. There might be a third party involved this month. There might be something that might be breaking up your marriage and your partnership. So be mindful of that. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Let me just pull one more clarifier on that and see if it's that, or if it's just maybe that it's just all about projects being unfinished. So we have the Eight of Cups upright. Eight of Cups, it's usually about kind of moving on, moving forward. So I feel like there's going to be a separation for some of you at the end of the month, especially like after the full moon of Virgo, where it's asked us to restructure our life, to really see what's working, what's not, where we're not being efficient, or where it's like we're being kind of like let go of that side of us, or you know, like it's things are piling up, or like you know, that might be like a push of you like looking at your relationships and really like you assess what's working, what's not, and you might find that there's a third party. And I'm fortunate to say that. I don't want to say that, but that's the message that's coming through. And if you like see here, like there's one cup that has blood spilled, and then the other one has water. So I think it's going to be a very emotional time for you around this time. But you know, you also have a sense of community, you have friendships. So no matter what the case might be, know that it's for whoever, if it's the project that is not finished, but you're still kind of dwelling on it, move forward, think about the details, think about what needs to get done in order to move forward, and ask for help. And for others of you that you find that maybe a relationship is not working and you maybe find that you've been cheated on, even though I don't see cheating here, it's more about like maybe something from your an aspect of the relationship that is not working right now, that needs to be mended and needs to be looked at. But it's also good to reach out to friends and ask for help around this time. Now let me pull an oracle card for you and then see what else comes through. Now this is from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. I really love the imagery on these cards, and I hope you do too. So let me shuffle a little bit more and see what comes through for you, Libras. But overall, I really have to say this is a positive month. I think it's a lot of move forward. It's a lot of progress and achievement. It's something to really be proud of and to celebrate. But also don't lose track of things that still need to get done and still are unfinished. You know, because some of that can get to us, or, you know. Okay, so we have fork in the road. So around this month, I think I'm going to pull another one because I feel like this can be a double message for some of you. Let me just pull one more. Treasure Island. So we have number 13 and number 9. Huh. It's funny because it's treasure. Okay. So here they are. So I think fork in the road. Here we are. With the fork in the road, I feel like it's going to be a very decisive time for you this month, where you're going to have to think about how do you want to move forward and where do you want to move forward to, and what does that mean to you. And like I said in the beginning of this reading, where the new moon in Aquarius would ask us to really reflect on our attitude and relationship towards change, the fork in the road really is enforcing that message, where it's like, well, now you have a choice to make. What are you going to do? Are you going to be scared of change and you're going to let the past take over you? Or are you going to move forward and embrace change and like be fearless and just stand your ground, but also with balance and temperance and respect and tolerance? And so how are you going to react? What are you going to do? So this is going to be a very decisive time for you. And there's going to be a lot of, no matter what you do, there's going to be a new path that you'll have to follow. Now, and with the next one, Treasure Island, I think, and it's with hearts now because we have Valentine's too in February, right? I think this is more about kind of like makes me think about the Hermit, and especially for you that are looking for a job, don't underestimate yourself. Really, there's so much more about you than you ever know, and especially the ones that are going through a breakup, know that there's so much to you to love, and you're so special that do not ever let any defeat, or do not let ever anybody tell you otherwise. Because the more you embrace that, and the more you accept all parts of yourself, and the more you like see how awesome of a person you are and how much you have to give, you're gonna have that in return. Like, if you, I don't know if you can see, like, there's these like hearts, and it's like, it's almost like bursting, right? And I think with the Hermit too, you're like, once you find that thing you're really good, it's almost going to be starting like bursting out of you, where it's like, oh, I want to share it with the world. I can't wait to do that. So it's also about sharing your message, sharing who you are. And then if you really have an idea for a project, a business venture, do it, because it's going to be a really beneficial time for you to do that. So I'll leave you with that, Libras. I wish you a wonderful February. And if this video resonated with you, please like if this reading resonated with you, please like this video. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me how your month went by. And if you want to see what the next month has in store for you, subscribe to my channel. I'm looking forward to see you then. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.